Hey, y'all, let me take you back to a day that started out like any other, but ended up flipping an entire airline upside down. Picture this. It's a chaotic morning at Dallas International Airport, holiday travelers everywhere, lines snaking out of sight, and me and my sister, Lena Carter, standing at the boarding gate for Horizon Air Flight 214 to Chicago. We're clutching our first-class tickets, yeah, first class, a little treat we planned for our dad's big 60th birthday surprise. But then this gate agent, Karen Mitchell, gives us this smirk, leans in, and says, "These tickets don't look right. You sure you belong up here?" Her words hit like a slap, and every head in the gate area turns business folks in fancy suits, families, all staring as Lena and I stand there, burning with embarrassment. Karen's got this look, like she's caught us sneaking into a club we don't belong to, and when I pull out my phone to call our dad, she laughs. "Oh, go ahead. Call your daddy, see if he can fix this." Little did she know, in less than a day, Horizon Air would be staring down lawsuits, a stock market crash, and a boycott that'd shake the whole industry. Lena and I, we're not your typical trust fund kids, even though our dad, James Carter, runs Carter Energy Solutions, a big-time clean energy company, and get this secretly owns 40% of Horizon Air's stock. Growing up in Atlanta, we didn't flaunt it. Dad lost our mom to breast cancer when we were kids. Lena was 9. I was 7, and he raised us to value grit over glitz. "Money opens doors," he'd say, "but only your heart decides if you deserve to walk through." Lena's 27 now, a pediatric resident at Emory, driven to help kids after watching mom fight for her life. I'm 25, finishing up at Duke Law, obsessed with rooting out corporate corruption. We drove beat-up Hondas in high school, worked summer jobs at coffee shops, and learned to blend in with folks from all walks of life. But that day at the airport, no amount of humility could shield us from Karen's venom, the airline's dirty secrets. The trouble started before we even got to the gate. Booking those tickets? Lena had to argue with a skeptical agent who kept verifying her platinum card, like a 27-year-old black woman couldn't possibly afford it. At security, I got randomly pulled for extra screening 4th time that year. Mind you, while Lena watched 3 other black travelers get the same treatment. By the time we hit the first-class lounge, Karen, with her crisp uniform and cold eyes, was waiting. "IDs and boarding passes," she snapped, waving through a white couple without a glance. She studied our tickets like we'd forged them in a basement, then whispered to a security guard, "Keep an eye on them, they don't fit the first-class vibe." Lena grabbed my arm, whispering, "Don't make a scene, Jamal." But I was already recording, a habit from too many run-ins like this. At the gate, it got worse. Karen and another agent, Mike, blocked us from boarding, loudly questioning how we got these tickets. "Fraud's been an issue," Mike said, smirking as passengers gawked. Lena, calm as ever, asked, "Are you checking everyone's tickets like this?" No answer, just more demands for ID. I kept my phone rolling, saying, "We've been verified 3 times. This is targeted." Karen snapped, "No recording here." I shot back, "Your own policy says I can record in public areas." A few passengers muttered, some annoyed, some angry. An older guy in a suit spoke up. "Why are they getting singled out?" My ticket wasn't checked twice. But Karen doubled down, grabbing the mic. "Attention, Flight 214 passengers were delayed due to a security issue with flagged tickets." The implication was clear. We were the problem. Then she hissed, "Get lost, or get arrested." That's when I called Dad. "We're at Dallas, being denied boarding," I said, voice steady but boiling inside. "They're threatening us with arrest for using valid tickets." Dad's voice came through, calm but sharp as a blade. "Put me on speaker." I did. "Who's in charge?" he asked. Karen, all smug, said, "I'm Karen Mitchell, customer service manager." Dad cut her off. "Do not move my kids. I'm handling this." The line went dead. Karen rolled her eyes, but a flicker of doubt crossed her face. Security escorted us to a grim little office, rifling through our bags like we were smugglers. I refused to hand over my phone, citing my rights as a law student, while Lena stayed cool, her doctor's training keeping her pulse steady despite the humiliation. Then the door flew open. Robert Hayes, the airport director, stormed in, face pale. "Are you Lena and Jamal Carter?" he asked, shooing the guards out. "A VIP's coming, tell me everything." We laid it out. The profiling, the lies, the threats. 30 minutes later, Dad walked in soot-sharp, eyes like steel, flanked by 4 attorneys who looked ready to dismantle the place. "Are you hurt?" he asked us. "Just pissed," I said. He nodded, then turned to his team. "Document it all." "To us," he whispered, "I own 40% of this airline. I've been digging into their dirty laundry for months. You just gave me the spark." In the boardroom, Horizon's execs sat like deer in headlights. CEO Greg Lawson tried to play nice. "James, we had no idea." Dad shut him down. "You cash my checks for years, Greg, but let your airline treat my kids like criminals." My laptop lit up the room with leaked memos, training guides pushing premium customer bias, algorithms flagging Black and Latino names for extra scrutiny. Lena called out Karen. "Explain what made us suspicious besides our skin." Karen stammered, her confidence gone. Dad laid out his demands. Fire Karen, audit every complaint, go public with the truth, no NDAs. By morning, Horizon racism was trending. Passenger videos hit millions of views, and the airline stock tanked 20%. The backlash was brutal. Lena's car got vandalized, slurs sprayed across it. I was followed home from campus. Dad got threatening calls that sent him to the ER with chest pains. But whistleblowers kept coming. A coder sent me files showing Horizon's algorithm wasn't a glitch, it was built to downgrade service for low-value passengers, coded by zip codes and names. The FBI raided their offices, finding shredded files and tampered servers. Karen was caught bribing a witness, landing her in cuffs. Our lawsuit ballooned into a class action, with thousands of passengers sharing stories of being profiled or ignored. 6 months later, Dad took over Horizon, installing a new CEO, a former flight attendant who'd blown the whistle. They opened their algorithms for public review, set up a $200 million fund for victims, and rewrote every policy. Lena started a healthcare equity program. I launched a project exposing biased tech. Dad finally told us why he'd bought into Horizon decades ago. As a young Black mechanic, they'd stolen his ideas and fired him for speaking up. This wasn't just our fight, it was his, too. 30 years in the making. So what do you think? Would you take a settlement to stay quiet, or fight to expose the truth, knowing the risks? Drop a comment. Number 1 if you face something like this. Number 2 if you think corporations need a wake-up call. Hit that like button if you're rooting for justice, and subscribe to hear more stories of folks standing up to the system. Share this with someone who needs to see how deep bias runs and how far a family can go to tear it down.